The sky above planet Erelis burned with the light of 1,000 stars, but not all of them were peaceful. Alien ships from the Krylo system had arrived, black and jagged against the soft blue of the planet below. The people of Erelis had never seen such a sight, and panic spread quickly through the cities. Towers of glass and metal trembled as distant explosions echoed through the air. Captain Dae-sung stood on the bridge of the Erelis defense station, his eyes fixed on the incoming fleet. His hands clenched the railing as he tried to steady himself. Around him, engineers and officers shouted, running to their stations. Dae-sung's mind raced, but he knew one thing. If these aliens attacked with full force, there would be nothing left to save. Engineer Hygiene moved quickly through the control room, checking shields and weapon systems. She had spent years working on Erelis defenses, and every moment counted now. The screens showed hundreds of enemy ships moving in formation, larger and faster than anything Dae-sung had imagined. "Captain, they are targeting the outer cities first," Hygiene said, her voice calm despite the panic around them. "We can try to hold them, but we need more support." Dae-sung nodded, though he knew it was almost hopeless. He had sent a request to the Galactic Council for help, but messages took hours to travel across space. The aliens moved faster than any help could arrive. He looked at his crew and gave a determined nod. "We do what we can. We protect the people here, even if it's our last stand." In one of the smaller command centers, Lieutenant Min Seo monitored communications. The aliens had sent a message that chilled everyone who saw it. "Backup is on its way. Resistance is futile." The words glowed red on the screen, a threat and a warning. Meanwhile, far above the planet, the alien warlord Vaxer watched his fleet with satisfaction. He had summoned reinforcements from other systems, believing the humans of Erelis would not survive. His clawed hands tapped the console as he laughed quietly. He had underestimated no one. He thought he had planned everything perfectly. On the streets of Erelis, the citizens ran in every direction. Families held on to each other, seeking shelter from the alien bombardment. Young Nari helped a group of children find safety in a reinforced building. She had no weapons, no special training, but her courage was strong. Hyun-woo, a former soldier now working as a civilian instructor, guided a group of citizens to the emergency bunkers. He looked up at the sky, seeing the massive alien ships slicing through the atmosphere. He felt fear, but he also felt a sense of pride for the people he was helping. Even in despair, they were determined to survive. Explosions rocked the outer cities as the aliens fired their plasma weapons. Energy beams tore through buildings, setting them ablaze. Dae-sung's eyes remained on the sensors, analyzing each strike. He gave commands, trying to minimize the damage. Every decision could save lives, but every moment also carried the weight of countless deaths. The first wave of defense ships launched from the planet. They were small and outdated compared to the alien fleet, but they had heart. Captain Dae-sung led the charge, flying into the enemy lines with a daring strategy. Ships twisted and turned, avoiding laser fire and returning shots where they could. The explosions were brilliant against the dark sky, a chaotic dance of life and death. Hygiene's hands flew over the controls, adjusting shields and directing energy to weak points. She knew that if the aliens focused their fire, even the strongest ships could be destroyed in minutes. Her mind was sharp, calculating, never stopping. She felt the tension in the room, but also the pride of serving her people. Min Seo intercepted an alien transmission. The alien spoke in a harsh, guttural language, but the meaning was clear. They were confident, mocking the defenders of Erelis. "You cannot stop us. Surrender or be destroyed." Min Seo clenched her jaw, relaying the message to Dae-sung. "We will not surrender," Dae-sung said, his voice firm. "We fight. Even if we fall, we show them what humans are capable of." Across the battlefield, the aliens continued their assault, destroying defensive satellites and striking key energy stations. Fires spread across the cities, smoke filling the sky. Yet, the people of Erelis refused to give in. Volunteers joined the efforts to save others, and small fighter squadrons made daring runs to delay the enemy. In one daring maneuver, a small group of Erelis pilots, led by Tae-ho, targeted a key alien warship. They weaved through fire and debris, finally hitting the ship's engines. It spiraled out of control, crashing onto the surface and causing a massive explosion. Cheers went up among the defenders, a small victory in a seemingly hopeless fight. As night fell over the planet, the battle continued. The alien fleet, still confident, had not seen any human reinforcements. They believed victory was near. But unknown to them, the humans of Earth were receiving the messages of distress. Admiral Ji-ho read the transmissions with growing concern and determination. The people of Arelis were brave, but they needed help, and humans never ignored a call for aid. Back on the bridge, Dae-sung looked at the stars, thinking about the future. He did not know what would happen next, but he knew one truth: humanity would not stay in the shadows. When the time came, they would arrive. And when they did, no alien force would be ready for the strength, courage, and cleverness that humans brought to the stars. In the skies above Arelis, the first signals of the approaching human fleet began to appear. Tiny blips in the distance, almost invisible, but enough to make Vaxer pause. For the first time, doubt touched his mind. He had thought the humans were weak, that they could be ignored. Now, perhaps, he had underestimated them. Below, Captain Dae-sung continued to direct the defense, unaware of the arrival yet to come. The battle raged on, a fight for survival, courage, and hope. And in the heart of Arelis, the people waited, unaware that salvation was not far away. Humanity was on its way, and when it arrived, the universe would remember it forever. Far away in the vast reaches of space, the humans of Earth prepared for something that could change the course of the galaxy. Admiral Ji-ho stood on the deck of the flagship, the Starblade, staring at the star charts. He had received the distress call from Arelis only moments ago, and his mind was already moving faster than anyone around him. The situation was grave, a peaceful planet under assault by a powerful alien fleet. But he also felt determination. Humanity had faced danger before, and humans did not retreat in the face of impossible odds. Engineer Su-bin moved quickly across the control room, checking engines and weapon systems. She was focused, calm under pressure. The fleet was massive, but not as large as the alien war fleet. That meant precision and strategy were their only advantage. "Admiral, all ships are ready for hyperspace jump," Su-bin reported. Her voice carried a mix of excitement and urgency. "We can arrive in Arelis space within a few hours." Ji-ho nodded. "Good. Keep shields at maximum and weapons on standby. We must arrive prepared for a full attack." He paused, looking at the young pilot standing nearby. "Tae-ho, I want you ready for combat as soon as we arrive. There is no room for mistakes." Tae-ho clenched his fists. His heart raced with a mixture of fear and excitement. This was his first real battle in space, and he was determined not to fail. He looked at the stars beyond the viewport and whispered a promise to himself. He would protect the innocent, no matter what. Meanwhile, on Arelis, Captain Dae-sung continued to fight desperately. The alien ships had regrouped and were attacking with renewed strength. Explosions shook the surface, sending clouds of smoke into the sky. Buildings fell, but the citizens were determined to survive. Young Nari helped citizens to safety, while Hyun-woo organized emergency teams to evacuate wounded civilians. "Captain, we are losing more ships than we can replace," Lieutenant Min Seo reported, frustration in her voice. "We cannot hold them much longer." Dae-sung clenched his jaw. He understood the truth, but he also refused to give up. "We fight until the end. Hope may come from the stars, but we fight now with every ounce of strength we have." On the bridge of the Starblade, Admiral Ji-ho initiated the hyperspace jump. The fleet shimmered and disappeared from known space, leaving behind the distant galaxy that had summoned their help. Seconds later, they emerged near Arelis, and the scene that met their eyes was catastrophic. The alien fleet loomed large, their ships firing relentlessly upon the planet below. Smoke and fire rose into space, marking the destruction already done. Ji-ho's eyes narrowed. "Maintain formation. We attack together, fast and strong. No hesitation." Su-bin activated the energy weapons. Each ship in the human fleet was a masterpiece of engineering, with precision targeting systems and advanced shields that the aliens could not anticipate. Lights on the bridge flickered as she calibrated the weapons, making sure every shot would count. Tae-ho and his squadron of young pilots took their positions. Their small ships darted like shadows among the massive alien vessels. Though outnumbered, they had agility and cunning, tools that no amount of alien technology could replace. Back on Arelis, Captain Dae-sung looked up at the small blips approaching in the distance. He squinted. Could it be possible? He rubbed his eyes in disbelief. As the fleet drew closer, it became clear. Humans. Real humans, coming to fight alongside them. A cheer went up from the command center. For the first time in hours, hope returned to the people of Arelis. Vaxer, the alien warlord, noticed the newcomers as well. He hissed, anger flashing across his face. Humans? They dare to arrive. He barked orders to his fleet, signaling them to attack the new arrivals immediately. His confidence wavered for the first time. He had expected simple reinforcements from minor allies, not the full force of Earth's military. As the human fleet moved into position, Ji-ho gave the first command. Fire at will. Focus on the forward assault ships. Protect the planet, protect the civilians. Energy beams fired from the human fleet, striking the aliens with incredible precision. Ships that seemed invincible moments before now shuddered and exploded. Smoke and fire mixed with the stars, painting a scene of chaos. The aliens had expected easy victory, but humanity brought not only technology, but courage and unpredictability that the aliens could not account for. On Arelis, Dae-sung and Min-seo coordinated with the human fleet, giving information about key targets and areas where civilians were trapped. Communication between humans and Arelis was quick, precise, and effective. Engineers and pilots worked together across species to ensure maximum impact against the alien forces. Tae-ho led a daring run through a cluster of alien ships, dodging fire and striking vulnerable points on massive cruisers. His skill and bravery inspired others in his squadron, who followed him closely, striking with deadly accuracy. Nari and Hyun-woo watched from the surface as the tides began to turn. They could see the human ships weaving through the alien fleet, striking and retreating in perfect coordination. The destruction of the alien forward ships gave the citizens hope, showing them that the battle could be won. Su-bin worked tirelessly, monitoring the energy levels of the fleet and making adjustments in real time. She felt the adrenaline rush through her veins, knowing that the people she could not see were relying on her skill. Each calculation, each adjustment, made a difference between life and death. Even Vaxer felt the change. His confidence faltered, his plans unraveling under the assault of a force he had underestimated. The aliens tried to coordinate, but human tactics were unpredictable and fast. Their reinforcements were too clever, too strong, and too determined. He began to realize that humans were not like other species he had conquered. As the battle raged on, the first wave of alien ships began to fall back, damaged and confused. Captain Dae-sung and his team cheered, though they knew this was only the beginning. Humanity had arrived, but the fight was far from over. The war was just starting, and the aliens would not surrender easily. In the command room of the Starblade, Admiral Ji-ho looked out at the battlefield. The humans had made their presence known, and the tide had shifted. But he knew this was only the first step. "Prepare for the next phase," he said calmly. "We cannot let them regroup. Strike fast, strike hard, and protect the planet." On Arelis, civilians and soldiers alike felt a spark of hope. The humans had come with their fleet, their courage, and their strength. The impossible now seemed possible. For the first time since the invasion began, the people of Arelis believed that they could survive, and perhaps even win. The human fleet moved like shadows across the stars, fast and silent, until they were right above Arelis. The alien fleet, confident in their numbers, did not expect the sudden appearance of so many advanced ships. Captain Dae-sung watched the humans approach from his command center, his heart beating faster than ever. It was a sight he would never forget. Sleek, powerful ships, their hulls shining in the light of distant stars, coming to defend a world they barely knew. Admiral Ji-ho issued his orders calmly, his voice steady over the communication channels. "All ships, take positions. Focus on the largest enemy cruisers first. Protect the planet at all costs. Engage only when ready." Engineer Su-bin adjusted the energy output for the fleet's weapons, ensuring that every shot would be precise. She could see the alien fleet below, large and menacing, but she also saw the weak points that humans could exploit. Her fingers flew over the controls, calculating, adjusting, and preparing. Tae-ho led his squadron through the formation, weaving between alien ships with agility that the larger vessels could not match. His team followed him closely, striking at the cruiser's engines and weapon systems. Each successful hit brought cheers from the human crews, though the battle was far from over. Vaxer, the alien warlord, noticed the humans for the first time. His confidence faltered. He had expected minor reinforcements, not an entire fleet of highly trained and well-equipped warriors. He barked orders to his subcommanders, but they struggled to coordinate their attacks against such unpredictable opponents. On Arelis, Captain Dae-sung coordinated with the human fleet, providing crucial intelligence. The city sectors to the north are under heavy attack. Direct some ships there. Civilians need protection, he instructed. Lieutenant Min Seo relayed the message to Admiral Ji-ho, who nodded and redirected part of the fleet. Nari moved through the streets, helping civilians evacuate from damaged areas. She saw smoke rising from the city as buildings collapsed, but she also saw hope in the skies above. The humans were fighting for them, and for the first time, she believed survival was possible. Hyun-woo guided citizens to safe zones, coordinating with volunteers. Their efforts were tireless, as they moved people away from the streets and toward reinforced shelters. Despite the chaos, he remained calm, knowing that every life saved mattered. The first clashes between human and alien ships were intense. Energy beams lit up the darkness of space, striking with precision. Human tactics were smart and fast. They did not rely on brute force but on clever maneuvers that confused the aliens. Vaxer's fleet, though powerful, could not predict the human strategies. Tae-ho's squadron executed a daring run through a cluster of alien destroyers. They dodged fire and struck at weak points, causing explosions that sent debris into space. Each hit weakened the aliens' formation, and their confidence began to waver. Meanwhile, Captain Dae-sung coordinated defense on the planet. He worked closely with Min Seo to manage remaining Arelis ships, guiding them to support the human fleet. Together, humans and Arelis defenders created a network of strategy that overwhelmed the alien forces. Su-bin monitored weapon systems, ensuring that no energy was wasted. Her calculations allowed the fleet to fire with maximum efficiency, hitting alien ships exactly where they were weakest. Each successful strike increased the morale of the human crews and the defenders on Arelis. The alien warlord Vaxer became more frantic with each passing minute. His ships, though larger and more numerous, were taking heavy damage. His orders were shouted, but the humans anticipated each move. For the first time, he realized that humans were not just fighters, they were thinkers, strategists, and fearless in the face of danger. On the surface of Arelis, citizens watched the battle in awe. Explosions in the sky illuminated the night, showing the clash of fleets in vivid colors. Nari and Hyun-woo moved quickly to aid those trapped in buildings, but their attention was drawn upward. They saw the humans outmaneuvering and destroying alien ships with skill and courage. Hope swelled in their hearts. Dae-sung's team observed key points on the alien fleet and directed human attacks to maximize damage. Each successful strike caused alien ships to retreat or explode, forcing Vaxer to reconsider his plans. His fleet was losing structure and morale rapidly. Tae-ho performed another daring maneuver, striking the alien flagship directly. The attack caused a massive explosion, throwing smaller ships into disarray. Energy readings on the Starblade showed critical damage to the enemy's command systems. The humans had struck hard, and the aliens could not recover quickly. The battle raged on for hours, but the tide had clearly turned. The aliens were losing control, and human tactics and courage were proving superior. Dae-sung coordinated with Ji-ho, issuing precise commands to ensure civilians remained protected while enemy forces were targeted efficiently. Vaxer realized the severity of the situation. His fleet, once confident and proud, now faltered in the face of human ingenuity. He had expected fear, submission, and easy victory, but humans brought bravery, intelligence, and teamwork that he had never seen before. His communications showed confusion and desperation. On Arelis, civilians started emerging from shelters to witness the change in the skies. Smoke and fire still marked destruction, but they could see the aliens retreating under the human assault. Hope had returned, and people began to cheer for the defenders who fought for them. Su-bin maintained control of the fleet, ensuring shields held against alien counterattacks. Every move was calculated, every strike intentional. The humans were precise, coordinated, and unstoppable in their current formation. As night turned toward dawn, the alien fleet had lost significant numbers. The humans continued their relentless assault, ensuring no recovery was possible. Taeho and his squadron performed last sweeps, taking out remaining alien ships in key positions. Captain Dae-sung and Lieutenant Min Seo observed the destruction below, knowing that the first major victory had been achieved. The citizens of Erelis, exhausted but alive, felt a surge of courage and gratitude toward their human allies. Admiral Ji-ho looked out over the fleet from the Starblade. He knew the battle was not over, but he also knew that humans had made an unforgettable statement. They were clever, brave, and unpredictable. No alien force could underestimate them again. The first human contact with the aliens had not only saved lives but had changed the course of the battle. The aliens now feared the humans, unsure how to respond to such courage and intelligence. And on Erelis, the citizens finally believed that they were not alone, and that hope could shine even in the darkest of times. The alien fleet was in chaos. The arrival of the human war fleet had changed everything. Vaxer, the alien warlord, barked frantic orders to regroup, but his ships were scattered, engines damaged, and morale plummeting. He had expected the humans to be weak and predictable, but now he faced a force that was clever, fast, and coordinated. The humans had brought a new kind of battle, one the aliens could not anticipate. Captain Dae-sung and his team on Erelis observed the battlefield carefully. While the first human strike had caused chaos among the aliens, Dae-sung knew the war was far from over. The aliens would attempt counterattacks, and the humans had to be ready to protect civilians and strategic points. Min Seo monitored communications and enemy movements, keeping track of their remaining ships. On the Starblade, Admiral Ji-ho made quick tactical decisions. Focus on the central cruisers. Their weapon systems are key. Disable them, and the rest will falter, he commanded. Engineers like Su-bin adjusted weapon output and shield strength in real time, ensuring every attack was precise and effective. Taeho and his squadron took the lead once again. They weaved through the alien formation, dodging fire and striking at weak points identified by Dae-sung's team. Their small, agile ships could enter spaces the larger alien vessels could not. Each attack caused explosions and confusion, breaking the cohesion of Vaxer's fleet. Meanwhile, on Erelis, the citizens were beginning to regain some courage. Nari and Hyun-woo led small rescue teams, helping the wounded and guiding people to shelters. They looked up at the sky, seeing the humans fighting bravely against the aliens. Hope was returning, and the people started to believe survival was possible. The aliens tried to mount a counteroffensive. Groups of warships attempted to strike the humans from different directions, hoping to divide their forces. But human coordination and strategy were too strong. Ji-ho had anticipated this move and positioned ships in a way that allowed them to defend key points while launching precise attacks. Su-bin monitored the energy levels carefully, distributing power to the weapons and shields where needed. Her calculations ensured that the fleet could sustain prolonged combat without being drained. Human ships moved like a single organism, perfectly synchronized despite being separate entities. Taeho's squadron executed another daring maneuver through an asteroid field near the battle zone. Using the rocks for cover, they struck at alien cruisers' engines and weapon systems, causing massive explosions. Their courage inspired the rest of the fleet to fight with even greater determination. Vaxer became desperate. His fleet had lost too many ships and key systems were destroyed. Communications between his commanders became confused as the humans anticipated their every move. He realized that he had underestimated the humans' intelligence and courage. His confidence had turned to fear. On Erelis, Dae-sung coordinated with the humans to maximize damage while protecting civilians. He gave clear, precise instructions to remaining Erelis ships, guiding them to strategic positions that would complement the human fleet. Their teamwork allowed them to cover more ground and strike critical points on the alien forces. As the battle continued, small victories added up. Human ships disabled alien communications, engines, and weapon systems, leaving them vulnerable. Taeho performed a precise strike on one of the largest alien cruisers, causing it to drift helplessly and eventually explode. Each victory weakened the alien fleet, and the humans never allowed them to regroup. The citizens of Erelis watched in awe. For the first time, they saw their planet being defended by an unstoppable force. The humans had brought courage, skill, and intelligence to the battlefield. Nari and Hyunwoo helped people to safe zones, while the sky above lit up with the destruction of alien ships. Daesung and Mineseo observed the alien fleet breaking apart. The humans had turned what seemed like a hopeless battle into a fight that could be won. Energy beams from the Starblade and other human ships struck with perfect timing, exploiting every weakness in the enemy formation. Subin adjusted the weapons one last time to deliver maximum damage to the remaining alien ships. The fleet moved as a coordinated unit, precise and unstoppable. Each strike caused the aliens to retreat further, their morale shattered. Taeho's squadron made one final pass through the remaining enemy cruisers, striking decisively and demonstrating human bravery. The aliens had never faced such skill and courage. Their warlords began to doubt their ability to continue, and confusion spread among their ranks. Vaxer could see the writing on the wall. His fleet was broken, his forces in disarray, and his plans for conquest crumbling. He had underestimated the humans, who combined intelligence, courage, and teamwork to overcome impossible odds. In desperation, he signaled a retreat, though many of his ships could no longer move. On Arellus, the citizens erupted in cheers. The humans had arrived, fought with brilliance, and turned the tide. Daesung addressed the remaining defenders and citizens, praising their courage and coordination. The humans had shown them that survival was possible, and hope was restored. Admiral Jiho looked out from the Starblade, proud of his fleet and the bravery of the pilots like Taeho. The humans had proven that they were not just another species in the galaxy. They were formidable, clever, and fearless. As the aliens retreated into space, Daesung knew that the battle for Arellus was won, but the war might not be over. Humanity had shown their strength, and the galaxy would soon remember that humans arrived not just to fight, but to triumph. The citizens of Arellus, the human fleet, and their allied forces celebrated a hard-earned victory, knowing that the courage and intelligence of humanity had saved the day and restored hope to an entire world. The alien fleet had retreated, leaving behind a sky filled with smoke and wreckage. The humans hovered above the planet, their ships shining in the soft light of Arellus morning. The battle was over, and for the first time, the people of Arellus could breathe without fear. Captain Daesung looked over the city from the bridge, seeing the citizens emerging from shelters, cautious but alive. Relief and joy filled their faces. Humanity had come, fought with courage, and changed the course of the battle. Admiral Jiho observed the fleet's status. While the human ships had taken some damage, the operation had been a success. He turned to Engineer Subin, who had been monitoring systems tirelessly. "We did what was necessary," he said, "and we saved countless lives." Subin nodded, tired but satisfied. She had seen the human skill and determination firsthand. Every calculation, every adjustment of power and weapons, had helped to secure victory. She knew that the universe would remember this battle. Taeho and his squadron landed near Arellus' surface, joining the civilians to help with relief efforts. Their small ships had been instrumental in disabling key alien vessels, and their courage had inspired many. Taeho felt a sense of pride but also humility, knowing that many others had risked their lives alongside him. On the streets of Arellus, Nari and Hyunwoo helped the citizens organize and rebuild. Buildings were damaged, and fires still smoldered, but there was hope in every action. People worked together, inspired by the humans' bravery. Captain Daesung addressed the remaining Arellus defense forces and the civilians. "Today, we have survived because of courage and unity. And humans have shown us that even in the darkest hour, hope can shine. We must honor that bravery and continue to rebuild." In space, Admiral Jiho gave the order for the fleet to prepare for departure. Their mission was complete, and Earth's forces would return home. Yet, he knew that their arrival had sent a clear message to the galaxy. Humans were not to be underestimated. Humanity combined intelligence, courage, and strategy in ways no other species could match. Vaxer, the alien warlord, retreated to distant space, nursing the wounds of his fleet and reconsidering his approach to interstellar conflict. He had underestimated the humans, and now he knew that they were a force unlike any other. Fear and respect replaced his previous arrogance. He would think twice before challenging humanity again. On Arelis, civilians began to gather in the main square, celebrating the heroes who had arrived from the stars. Captain Daesung and his team, along with Taeho and other human pilots, walked among the people, sharing smiles, helping where needed, and providing hope. Nari and Hyunwoo coordinated aid for the injured, ensuring that everyone had food, water, and medical attention. The city's sky was clear, and for the first time in weeks, Arelis felt safe. Children played cautiously in the streets, while adults worked together to repair what had been destroyed. The humans had brought more than victory. They had brought courage, unity, and the proof that even the most advanced alien fleet could be challenged. Admiral Ji-ho spoke to Captain Daesung privately. "Your people have incredible courage," he said. "Humans may not always be present, but the spirit we bring can inspire others across the galaxy. Today, your planet saw what humanity is capable of." Daesung nodded, gratitude and pride filling his heart. "Your fleet arrived just in time. Without you, we would have lost everything. We are forever in your debt." Subin monitored the remaining alien signals, making sure no stragglers posed a threat. The last few alien ships were retreating, and humanity's precision ensured that the warlords would think twice before ever returning to this sector. Every strike, every maneuver, had demonstrated that humans were not only strong but clever, organized, and fearless. On the ground, Nari helped a small group of children who had been separated from their families. She smiled as they reunited, the tears of fear replaced with tears of relief. Hyunwoo guided citizens to the rebuilt shelters, teaching them how to prepare for emergencies and defend themselves if needed. The humans' example had given them strength, and they would not forget it. Taeho looked up at the sky, remembering the explosions, the fire, and the courage displayed by his fellow pilots. He realized that humanity's strength was not just in weapons or ships but in the spirit to fight, protect, and survive. Each action, each decision, had saved countless lives. As the human fleet departed, the citizens of Arelis waved, their cheers echoing into the distance. Captain Daesung stood among them, watching the ships disappear into the stars. The battle had been won, but the lesson remained. Humans were a force to be reckoned with, and the galaxy would remember the day they arrived. The alien warlords would retreat and plan, but they would never forget. Humanity had shown that intelligence, courage, and unity could overcome even the most powerful adversaries. Across the galaxy, stories would be told of the humans who arrived with a war fleet and changed the course of history. On Arelis, the people began rebuilding with renewed hope. Captain Daesung, Nari, and Hyunwoo worked alongside the citizens, inspired by the humans' example. The scars of battle remained, but the spirit of survival and unity was stronger than ever. Admiral Ji-ho and his crew reflected on the mission as they charted their course back to Earth. They had arrived at the right time, fought with brilliance, and left a lasting impact. The humans had shown that even in a vast galaxy, their courage and intelligence could make a difference, protecting not only themselves but others who could not defend their worlds alone. And so, the people of Arelis lived to tell the story. The humans who arrived in the hour of greatest need had brought not only victory but hope, bravery, and a promise that no planet would ever stand alone while humanity watched over the stars. The human fleet had already left the Arelis system, but the effects of their arrival remained strong in every heart and every street of the planet. Captain Daesung walked among the rebuilding communities, seeing how people worked together with more confidence than ever. Even though the humans had departed, their courage stayed like a bright flame inside everyone. The sky was calmer now, though some marks of the battle still lingered. The people of Arelis had survived, but danger in the galaxy never rested. Nari and Hyunwoo spent long hours managing recovery teams. They were proud of their people, but they knew that the galaxy beyond Arelis was becoming more dangerous every day. The alien warlord Vaxer had retreated, but retreat was not defeat. He would return, stronger, angrier, and more determined than before. Everyone knew it. Yet, instead of fear, they felt a new determination. They had seen what humans could do, and the memory pushed them forward. Meanwhile, far across the dark space, the human fleet traveled home. Admiral Ji-ho remained on the bridge of his flagship, reviewing reports and messages from Earth Command. Though the mission had been a success, it had also revealed something much larger. The alien warlords were expanding, becoming more aggressive. Arelis was only one of many worlds at risk. Humanity could not ignore this situation any longer. Engineer Subin sat at her console, adjusting long-distance scanners. She noticed unusual signals, faint but sharp, coming from a distant region. It was the same signature as Vaxor's fleet. She quietly approached Admiral Ji-Ho with the data. "Sir, these readings suggest that Vaxor is gathering forces again. His fleet is moving toward another star system. He is not done." Ji-Ho knew it. He had seen the rage in the alien warlords' movements. Vaxor would not accept defeat. He would come back for revenge, and if he succeeded somewhere else, Arelis and even Earth could become targets. The Admiral's expression hardened. "Prepare a message to Earth Command. Humanity may need to form a larger defensive alliance. We cannot let the warlords push deeper into our space." Back on Arelis, Tae-Ho continued to help repair the small defense ships that had survived the attack. Even though the human pilots had returned home, Tae-Ho and his team wanted to make sure the planet was better protected than before. The memories of the battle came back to him often. The flashes of fire, the roar of engines, the feeling of flying with purpose. He was proud to have fought alongside the humans. Their presence had inspired him and many others. As Tae-Ho was repairing a damaged stabilizer, he noticed a faint glow in the sky. It grew brighter, spreading like a thin line across the horizon. Tae-Ho squinted, unsure if it was sunlight catching debris or something entirely different. Within minutes, alarms echoed across the city. Defense beacons awakened, sending messages through the streets. Nari rushed to the command center. "Is it an attack?" she asked urgently. The officer on duty shook his head slowly. "No attack. This is a transmission. A galactic transmission." Everyone stared at the screens. A symbol appeared, one not seen in many years. It was the emblem of the Grand Sector Alliance, a large organization of planets that once kept peace in the region but had fallen silent long ago. A calm voice echoed across every screen on Arelis. "To all allied planets, a grave warning. The warlord Vaxor and his forces have destroyed 3 colonies in the Outer Rim. We request immediate unity and contact with all defense leaders. Prepare for the coming storm." Nari exchanged worried glances with Hyun-Woo. 3 colonies? That means he has grown much faster than we expected. We are not ready for this. Hyun-Woo took a deep breath. But we are not alone. Not anymore. Humans will stand with us. Across the galaxy, Admiral Ji-Ho received the same message. He paused, listening carefully. The mention of the destroyed colonies confirmed his fears. Su-Bin felt a chill run through her. "Sir, if Vaxor continues at this rate, he could reach populated systems within weeks." "I know," Ji-Ho replied. "Prepare the fleet. We will not wait for him to strike again. We must act before he becomes unstoppable." The human fleet changed course. Instead of returning home, they headed toward the central communication hub of the Grand Sector Alliance. Humanity was about to step into a much larger role in the galaxy. They would not fight alone this time. On Arelis, Daesung joined a meeting with leaders across nearby planets through holographic communication. It was the first time so many worlds had spoken together in years. The fear in their voices was clear. The memories of destroyed planets haunted them. But Daesung spoke with strength. "We have seen humans fight. We have seen their courage. If they stand with us, we have a chance to protect our worlds. A united galaxy is stronger than any warlord." As the meeting continued, a sudden interruption occurred. The screens flickered, and a distorted image appeared. It was Vaxor. His eyes glowed with fury, and his voice was cold and sharp. "You think unity will save you? You think humans can protect you again? I will crush every alliance you form. Your planets will burn, and your people will kneel. Prepare yourselves. I am coming." The transmission ended abruptly, leaving a heavy silence. Nari clenched her fist. "He wants to scare us. He thinks we will run. But we won't. Not this time." Hyun-Woo nodded. "We stand together now. Humans, Arelis, the Alliance. He will not break us." Across the stars, Admiral Ji-Ho saw the same message. His expression did not change, but the determination in his eyes sharpened. "So, he shows himself. Good. Now we know exactly what we are dealing with. We will prepare. We will unite. And we will end this threat." Su-Bin and her team enhanced the scanners, identifying the possible path of Vaxor's fleet. The warlord was gathering new allies, dangerous ones, species who wanted chaos. The map lit up with red markers. The threat was enormous. But the humans had faced impossible challenges before. They would face this one too. Back on Arelis, the people looked up at the sky once again. But this time, they were not helpless. They were preparing, training, building, and standing strong. The humans had shown them the way. The galaxy was heading toward a greater war, but also toward a greater unity. And though fear existed, something stronger had begun to rise. Hope. Hope that humans would return. Hope that the alliance would grow. Hope that together, they could stop Vaxxer once and for all. The next chapter of the galaxy's story was beginning, and every world knew one truth. The humans would not let them face the darkness alone.